problems to be worried. I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy. I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up. It look like I'm foreign cars driving fast. I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems. Let me. When I'm in magic. With the gang, we ball out. It can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh.
The Zac Taylor era begins in Cincinnati. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Bengals have a new man calling the shots. Zac Taylor, the second youngest coach in the entire league, as they head to Seattle to take on the oldest coach in the league, Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the games in progress. But first, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by are the guys in the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. And we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL, in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Tighten up. Rush in. Let's go.
Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson flushed out right, and now he's going to use his legs. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now Wilson on first down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
Yeah, just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Check 26.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first.
Face mask. Defense.
Instead of 4th down, they'll be able to start over now in the red zone.
And field position still has huge value in the NFL. As you said, in the red zone, that really hurts them.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
14.
Again, Wilson. Flush to his right. He'll try, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Bengals under first-year head coach Zac Taylor. And for this young rookie making his first NFL start, a moment he's been waiting for since draft day.
What I enjoyed this week is that you were asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is, and that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care, and when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, a give to Mixon. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now the first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Here's Bernard. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now Joe Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Bullock will put this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Mike, 315. 54. Hey, watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Check.
Now it's Carson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10.
On the ready. 15. Mike is a 15. Check my 15.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw incomplete. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
There we go. Let's go now. 18 Gators. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Mixon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to come?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Returnable for Lockett. Meanwhile, down in Glendale. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Carlos Hyde was the target. That'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A first down and then some, 36 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Here's Hyde. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, short throw to Disley. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock.
Here we go, ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Going deep downfield for Ross. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So we are at halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Bengals defense gearing up as they take the field. And despite being down on the scoreboard, here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down.
Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Got to be careful here. Backed up this deep on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Watch the twist. Bang, 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 bang.
They run the counter. Carson. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Kill, 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 turn up. Kill, 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 kill.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Coming this way, here we go.
From the gun on third down, Wilson will find Metcalf. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
It's a party now. Guys, listen. Shift. Check 3. Shift. Watch the shift.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Out to his left. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
You can't block me. Watch the air.
Here's Hyde on the draw. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Yeah, baby.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Taking it in from 4 yards out. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there, so that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 2. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 3rd and short. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. And able to find Green. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield, but it's going to be 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. It's Ross. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Wide, get wide. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
Back to the ground. This time it's high. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
4 down, 4 down.
They run it again with 9. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter down in Arizona. And the Lions have now taken the lead in that ball game. A win would be their first of the young season. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengals down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man is Ross, complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They'll set up to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
They're going to look to throw. He's got a man, and that's Alex Erickson. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty of cash.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Check. Watch 54.
On third down, Carson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got... It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash.
cash, you love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the rain drop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. Throw it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
Back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And